G'day YouTube, DonkeyStump4 here, once again bringing you yet again another product review on PC gaming peripherals. Today we've got the Roccat Isku Illuminated gaming keyboard. Right, I've had this less than a day now. I picked it up only yesterday, so I'll start off with some first impressions. I think this keyboard's really good. I like the look of it and I like the feel of it. I've gamed a little bit with it and done a bit of typing on it. And it all feels really nice. I'll start off with reading you the features that are listed on the Roccat Isku box. You can see they're all listed on the back and stuff, so we'll start off with that. Alright, first up, we've got blue backlit keys. This keyboard's got a really nice backlighting feature. You can't see it in this video because I've got lots of light in my room at the moment. However, it has got blue backlit keys with a light with a button that can change the level to 5 different amounts of illumination, which is really good. Next we have something that is really awesome. We have what is called the Easy Shift Zone. Now that is, I think, these keys here, the caps lock, and then I think 3 rows of keys here. Alright, and what it does basically is when an easy shift key is clicked, the default is caps lock when it's held down and one of these buttons is pressed. These have a double function, so with the easy shift on, you use the double function, and you can use that for a bunch of different keys, including these ones here. So if you like macros, then by all means, easy shift gives you up to 36 easy to reach macros by using the easy shift function, compared to just 5 or 10 on the other side, sort of thing like that. What's next? We have 8 configurable media and hotkeys up the top, which have default functions such as mute, volume, volume up and down, next, previous track, play, pause, and then we have the 2 others, which are my computer and your default web browser by default. These 2, but all of these can be programmed to be different things via the driver software, which does come with the keyboard. It's on a little disc in the box at the moment. I got it. Right, next, medium height keys with an optimum keystroke response, 1000 Hz polling rate, and advanced anti-ghosting. So, really good keys. They're said medium height, not mechanical, but, that's alright. They feel really nice to press. I really like typing on this. They're not a long distance to push down. They're nice and soft, but not too soft. They're just all round feels really good, and obviously the 1000 Hz polling and advanced anti-ghosting, so just something that you really want in a gaming keyboard. You get the Roccat driver and macro manager, so the software which I mentioned, which will be at the end of the video. I'll have a tour of that. Extra large wrist rest, so you might not be able to judge how much larger it is compared to some others in this video, but it is really big, this wrist rest, and it makes for a great amount of comfort when gaming and typing. I really like it. Let's see, this is something interesting. We've got cable channels. So if we flip the keyboard up, you've got these different we've got cable channels here and there and stuff, where you can cable manage the cable for the actual keyboard, or if you have your mouse cable, for example, which means it's really easy to keep a clean desk. You also have lots of rubber feet here, here, and here, and then obviously these footrest things here are also rubber, so that your keyboard never slides around, which means you're going to be locked and loaded the whole time you're gaming or typing. You've got ultra fast profile switching, so you've got 5 profiles you can have, and they are illuminated by different lights up here. And then you can set your profile switch button. The default is T1 and T3 down here on these 3 macro keys. But I think you can change them to being up here, the F keys, and I think even these. So it's up to you where you want to put the profile switching keys. And Roccat Talk. That's something where if you have a Roccat cone mouse, it talks to the keyboard, and it's actually usable with the easy shift function on the keyboard, and the mouse can be used with that easy function, so that the mouse has double functions on all of its buttons. However, I'm not too sure on that because I don't have a Roccat cone mouse, but that's what I've heard. Okay, so coming up, I'm going to be doing a tour of the driver software and how to program different macros and some of the features which, or commands that these macros can be programmed to. But first, just do a quick recap. So we've got the macro keys here, and obviously the easy shift function, which allows you to have these here. You've got all the media keys, you've got backlit keys, full backlit keyboard, which is really good. You've got the extra large, wrist large, 5 different profiles for this keyboard, and a macro record button. So it's certainly a brilliant keyboard in terms of features. It's specified on the box, MMO approved. I don't play any MMOs, to be honest. The occasional RPG, but I mostly play first-person shooters. So this keyboard would appear to me an all-rounder, so it plays lots of different games with all the keys it has, and it's just a brilliant thing to use in general for typing and, well, whatever you're doing, which is what a keyboard should be for. Alright, so let's get started on the software. Alright, so here we have the Roccat Isku driver and macro managing software. Okay, let's start. We've got, as I mentioned before, the 5 different profiles, which are down here, so you can customize each one to be whatever you want. So you can have 4 different games profiles for 4 separate games, and then 1 general profile, or whatever assortment or combination you want in between. Alright, let's start with the functions of all the keys though. This is the main control tab, where you can customize the caps lock key, the 5 macro keys along the left hand side of the keyboard, as shown here, and the 3 thumbstick keys, also shown in the diagram. And each one can be programmed to be a huge range of different preset functions, including a bunch of different games and programs here, and other different functions. And they can all be used with the easy shift thing as well, so they can have double functions. So when easy shift button is pressed, the double function is used, and you can have, you know, a whole shitload of other things used as well. Speaking of the easy shift function, this is where you program your easy shift button. By default it is your caps lock, but I would actually recommend you change caps lock back to standard, so that caps lock is caps lock. So when you press it, caps lock is on, and press it, caps lock is off. Otherwise, if it's set as the easy shift key, you won't be able to use caps lock because it's programmed as easy shift. However, if you do want easy shift to be caps lock, then by all means go for it. Although if you did want to use caps lock as easy shift, set it in one profile, but then in your other profile where you have, say, typing, set it as caps lock. Just a tip there. But any of these can be set as easy shift. Yes, they can. Alright. The next one we have is easy zone control. So all these keys that I mentioned before, oh, there's actually 4 or 5 rows. Wow. Okay. They can all have their double functions. Again, bunch of different presets which you can choose from. And those double functions only work when easy shift is activated. Right. Now we have the function keys and multimedia keys. Again, so many different preset functions and macro things, especially these media keys up the top. You know, you can launch your web browser, my computer, but you can actually set them to launch certain things like search pages, forward, back, you know, lots and lots of different functions for all of them, and it's totally up to you going through and finding a function which you want set so that you have convenience and quick access to, well, the functions you want. In the advanced control tab, you have your repeat and delay things on different key buttons and the speed rates at which the keys are repeated when you hold a key down, for example. Unless you want to change that, I probably wouldn't. Just leave it at. Okay, so you also have these features here, which is enable disable keys, so you can turn off certain keys such as the Windows key, left and right Windows keys individually, application key, I'm not sure which one that is, could be Alt, and then Tab and left shift keys. So for whatever purposes you may have, you can turn those keys off by unticking the box, from what I know. So yes. Next you have the key illumination, well, brightness really. You can set a brightness for each profile if you didn't want to use the button on the keyboard to change it. I just have it set at bright just because I like a nice bright backlit keyboard, but it is completely up to you. Then there's the key illumination dimmer slash timeout thing, where you can have it set to 100, 80, 60, 40 or 20% illumination or no illumination after a specified amount of time, up to 30 minutes, so that the keyboard saves power. And yeah. The next thing is sound feedback, so it plays the keyboard talks to you and plays sound when changing selected settings. So macro live recording, it'll tell you when it's recording and stuff with a big, deep, loud voice. And when you change profile, and you can set that to really loud, or you can have it nice and quiet. It's up to you. I don't think you can turn it fully off, but you could have a look into that yourself. And then there's the reset button to factory defaults for the rest of it. Then you have your driver update things here. This tells you what update you have, and I think that's a link to where you can get the latest drivers and stuff, which is really good. It's always good to keep an updated driver and software. And then there's the support part here where you can go, that's a link to their website where there's forums and support, and it tells you how you can just email technicians from Roccat for all the questions you may have on technical issues or whatever. So yeah. Alright then, I guess this concludes the product review on the Roccat Isku Illuminated Gaming Keyboard. I'm DonkeySump4. So I hope you enjoyed the video, found it interesting and informative, and I'll talk to you again some other time. Thanks for watching.